Hello and welcome to Fresh Perspectives. My name is Gail, and my guests today are a couple of really interesting people, and they brought a lot of fun stuff to show us. Their names are Sara Szatkowski and her boyfriend Joe LaRussa.
Go Joe.
So, and they are here anyway, Sara owns a business, an arts and craft show business called Rock and Hemp, as you can see on the sign behind her there, Rock and Hemp. That sign caught my attention when I found her at an arts and crafts show this summer. So we have so much to talk about and a little bit of video to look at. So I'm going to go over all of the questions I had for you really quickly because we have a lot to cover here. Now, tell us something about yourself, Sara, your education and how you got into rocks and hemp.
Yeah, sure. I'm actually, I've had 36 surgeries on my ear, nose, and throat. I have implant, it's a Baja. I'm hearing loss my whole life, and I can't wear hearing aids because I've had reconstruction of my ear canal so much. And so I studied speech pathology and deaf education, and then my brother died, and he said to do something that you love, and life is too short to be at a grueling job. I'm just not an office person. I can't sit inside. I like to do hard labor and be outside. So I am ever since I've been little, I've been obsessed with rocks. My mom and dad are clean freaks, and they tell stories about how every week they'd have to clean out under my bed because I'd have a pile of rocks under there, and it would drive them insane. So I'm always looking at the ground. I'm always looking for stuff, and I love all rocks. I don't discriminate, so it's not like I am only a semi-precious gemstone lover. I love them all. So.
Oh, okay, that's good. Now, Joe, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm an electrical engineer by degree, but I'm a field service engineer by career right now, and I work with precision measurement equipment for the optics world and scientific research. I've, like Sara, have been interested in rocks since I was a young boy, and it's something that's been with me all my life. Primarily, I enjoy fossils and mineral collecting, and that's sort of how I met Sara, was in the process of seeing her at her show and doing her
at
business.
A festival.
Well, that's how you guys wound up being on this television program,
Yeah.
was I found Sara at an arts and crafts show. Okay. Let's see. Do you have a website that people can go to?
Yeah, I need to update it. I'm going to get a new one because I heard GoDaddy, I can do Rock and Hemp. This one's through Shopify. Here's my card. Can you zoom in on that? I'm on Instagram. I just got hacked, so I lost my Facebook.
Oh, no.
I'm not really sure what to do about that. Can you see it? It's rockandhemp.myshopify.com. And then you can email me, rockandhemp@gmail. And then my Instagram is still up and running, so it's just @rockandhemp, all one word.
Okay. So what arts and craft shows can people find you at throughout?
My next one's going to be in Lewiston.
Lewiston?
Yeah, and then I'm at Riverworks. I was doing weekly craft shows. It was insane. I couldn't keep up with inventory. I was remaking 20 of everything every week. So now I'm at once a month. I have I'm going to a vegan. I've been invited to a vegan one. So because everything I use is natural. Because a lot of people like to buy my stuff that are allergic to metal. So
I'm a vegan.
Are you?
I am,
So-
yes. And
I just got to steer away from the deer antlers because I'd like to do everything natural from what I find.
right.
And make stuff out of that. But
I think the deer shed their antlers every year.
so is that okay to vegans?
Probably.
Cool, thank you. I'm so glad you're vegan and I got to talk to you.
Yes, actually, we're having our Vegetarian Vegan Society dinner of the month tomorrow here in Chautauqua
Really?
County.
Cool.
Yeah.
You guys have the most delish food.
Oh yeah, we sure do. I wish everybody would try it.
so good.
Then they'd know. Okay, is there anything? I thought maybe the next thing we would do would be, since we have so much to cover, would be to go to the video. Next, the video is going to be of you working with your lapidary
Yeah.
equipment. Is
There's
that
a
correct?
video of saw. I have a trim saw, a band saw, a tile saw, but Gojo gave me a bigger saw, so I've been cutting like the bigger rocks that I have now.
yeah.
When I was waiting to get
Yeah.
like a slab saw or something, but it's super fun. So yeah, there's a
Okay.
saw video, and then me working on the Cab King.
Okay.
Okay, now we're gonna cut something. I'm gonna cut a piece of petrified wood. The trick to cutting rocks and polishing them is to find the like occlusions, the irregularities, like the patterns in the rocks. And you want to expose that and then polish it. So there's a lot of bands, and there's colors on the side. I like the orange, like the mustard color, but it's not real defined. So I like these bands, but see the cracks, like when I'm polishing, it could chip and crack on me. That happens sometimes. So I might cut this way to get the bands, and there's not as many cracks in the rock. See all the little cracks? So, okay. Okay, then I turned the saw on a little early, but I have to secure the rock so that it doesn't move on the cutting edge. Which will take me and then I'm cutting for a minute and a half.
Oh my God.
And I wish I paused it. Very hard.
You have to be very, very careful, don't you?
The blade is circular with industrial diamonds embedded around the edge.
It's not like
So it's not a
serrated.
sharp, I'm sure if you jammed your finger in there, but the blade is very flexible.
Is it?
It's
You still
like
have to
kinda
use
flat.
caution, but it's not like a table saw blade.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's not like it's not serrated.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I guess so.
You can't tell.
But
what
you
I'm
could
saying.
get
Chris,
hurdled.
You can get rid of this one. Thanks.
Yeah.
I forgot to pause the video, so I was talking over the saw and cutting for almost 2 more minutes. So I just show you the pieces at the end. It's really not that exciting, but then I have the Cab King video.
The Cab King
Yeah,
video.
and sorry, I was having a hard time doing videos. Okay, now we came inside my shop. This is my cabbing machine. It's got 6-stage polishing, 6 stages in polishing. It has grinding wheels that are diamond coated, and then it has resin wheels for polishing. It's all water lubricated. Underneath, I have buckets. I clean
One's
it so it
for
looks nice.
the dirty water and one's for the clean water.
And I also have, let's walk around a little bit. I have a bandsaw. And I have a tile saw underneath that I use for smaller pieces. I also have a trim saw, but something's wrong with that, so it's getting exchanged. And then I have this cool rotary tool. It has a long arm. It's like a giant Dremel and a foot pedal. I'm kind of mad at it. I melted it. Drilling into seashells for earrings. Look at that. So I had to remove the rubber melted, and I had to remove the rubber, and because it melted into the thing that turns inside and wouldn't turn. So it's fixed now. I haven't utilized it again, but I'd have to take it underwater because everything with rocks has to be water lubricated. Otherwise you ruin your blades and everything, drill bits. So, okay. So I'm going to do some cabbing with some of the beautiful pieces that I cut outside. This, I already started on this. I thought I was recording before and I wasn't. And then, anyway, so I started doing it. But this is one of the pieces I cut outside. This is not the petrified wood, but something my boyfriend gave me. It's beautiful, isn't it? I think I'm going to make like just like a little decoration piece with it. And then here's some more pieces of it. Look at the lines. Isn't that amazing? Oh, how exciting. This is a little too thin to play with. I don't know. I don't really have nails and they're really dirty all the time because I play with rocks and I dig in dirt a lot. But anyways, look at that. It almost looks dendritic with the little dots. It's really beautiful. And then I just cut a rock that I was tumbling because I like the lines. And then where's the petrified wood? Here's the petrified wood that I'm going to be doing. When the rocks are wet, they look great. So, we're going to do some of those. And here's the other piece of petrified wood. This is the one I'm going to make into a necklace probably. Okay, so I've refilled my bucket of water underneath. I emptied the old one. Then I hit a little foot pedal. I turn this on. And then I hit a little foot pedal down here. And that turns on the water. Now we're up and running. Got a light. And then each knob turns on the knob of the water. I just wait for my wheel to get nice and wet. And I just shape it. And then I continue to grind it down into the shape that I want. On the first wheel, the second wheel's a little more fine, third wheel's even more fine. So, I'm gonna do that. I'll stop back when I get a little further. Okay, the cool thing about this machine also is like, cause the backs, I don't really need to polish and make them real pretty, unless I want to make them a two-sided pendant, but this is pretty equal on both sides. So, it has a flat lap on the side, and it's super easy. It's magnetic, so this just pops off. And then I would use the water. Get it nice and wet. Okay. And then I can just hold it on flat. This is why I have no nails. You want to make sure you apply even pressure so it doesn't get lopsided on you. Oops. Gotta be careful. Petrified wood is very hard, like I said before when I was cutting it. It's like an agate, and agates are very hard, so it takes a little bit. Some rocks are softer than others, and they grind down real quick. Some do not. I like to use warm water. It's not really good, but then my hands aren't freezing. Well, this will take a few minutes, so I'll pause it so I don't bore you guys. Okay, I'm gonna like stop there because there's like a crack in the rock, and it kind of goes almost all the way through. If you can see it right there, I don't want it to break and chip away, so I'm gonna go back to polishing it. So I'm gonna turn off my water over here, and I can pop my side back on. Nice and easy. Look at that. Magnetic. So cool. Okay, and I'm gonna go back to polishing and I'll let you guys know how it turns out. See, I don't know if you guys can see the scrape marks. Did you catch that? I have to get rid of all that. So, it's gonna take a little bit. One of the tricks to cabbing is to keep it moving. You gotta keep it rotating so you don't get flat edges. It's kind of hard to do. I don't know if I'm doing it. I just kind of like taught myself. I do know people that have these machines that I've met on rock hunting adventures or mining, and if I ever have a question, they're super willing and sweet to help me out. But other than that, I'm pretty much self-taught. Okay, now I'm moving to the resin wheels. Maybe I'll move you guys over here. You can see what I'm doing kind of. How's that? Okay. And the resin wheels are for polishing. I really should be wearing my goggles, but I figure I have glasses on. But they don't work. I get rocks in my eyes. It's painful. Rock chips, not good. I wouldn't suggest it. Okay, so I'm going to start polishing it. But so far, that's what we got. Ooh, so pretty. Okay, so this is what I got so far. I'm going to let it dry because rocks are always shinier when they're wet. So I need to see what kind of shine I have by letting it dry. So I'm going to set it over here. And I'm going to work on something else. I don't know, what should I do? There's so many rocks to choose from. I'm going to do one of these. These are super cool. Oops. I don't know. This is beautiful. It's so thin though. I cut it too thin. I don't know if I'll be able to hack it. But I'm going to keep working on the piece that I started earlier when I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. I think it's going to be decoration. Okay, somebody was just calling. Sorry. I hung up on them. Okay. Well, I'm going to do this, and then I'll bring these pieces in. And so I can show them on the show. But this is my home workspace. And this is where I polish rocks. I have tons of rocks. I love rocks. Okay, so far this is what we have. And now I'm going to let it dry. It doesn't look like there's any scratches anywhere. There's just like some like a little dent in the rock. I didn't want to make it any thinner. But, and then it should sit. Yay! It sits. Cool. Okay, we're going to let it dry. See if there's any scratches. You'll be able to see. I'll be able to see a little better if there's any rough spots. Oh, like the petrified wood, there's some scratches in that. So, okay, so that's what I do. That's how I camp. I'm gonna keep making some stuff, and hopefully you guys had fun watching.
Okay. That was pretty interesting. Boy, you really work hard, don't you?
Well, finding rocks and hauling rocks is probably the hardest work. And I'm stubborn, so I'll carry a lot. And Gojo will too.
Okay, so let's start talking about the items that you have on the table here. Now, you incorporate gemstones into macrame.
Yes.
Do you want to?
Drill holes in them then. I use Dremel underwater in my sink in my bathroom, so my guest bathroom is always sprayed with water on the mirror because that's where I drill my holes. And then I choose to put it on my hemp. I know it's not as mainstream as maybe leather cords or like what everybody would wear, but when people do try my hemp, they love it because it's hard to find natural hemp that is not itchy. Like natural. Like
that's soft.
Yeah,
yes.
all colored hemps are dyed and processed, so they're soft. But like to get a natural hemp that's a regular and like it has the little hairs and everything, and it's not like a processed, dyed, all equal everywhere hemp. They're usually itchy and they have to be worn in the shower for a few weeks to be broken in, but my hemp is so soft. And people will come back and say it's the most comfortable necklace they've ever worn, get like another one or two more. And I just love hemp. I've always loved it. I don't know. I know it's not for everybody. Everybody thinks it's just for hippies, but I have a lot of people that buy my stuff that's allergic to metal. And
Yeah, I know that even really elderly people sometimes will buy hemp bracelets and necklaces.
yeah, I used to make them 16 to 18 inches long, and I had to start making them longer because I have so many little white-haired old ladies come and buy my stuff, so they want to be able to put it over their heads.
Right,
So
right.
I needed to make them longer, and like then I'll even have kids. I'll have adults, men, women, like teenagers. Like I have no set crowd. I think a little bit of everybody likes to buy my stuff, or like people that might have used to wear it, they'll buy some for their kids, or they'll buy one to like wear it again. And like I said, people are allergic to metal. They like my
Yeah,
stuff.
and you use natural gemstones for pendants, and
Yeah, I drill holes for some of the beads, but those are a little big to be on the ankle, so I do use like store-bought beads also, which are a little smaller, because like if you think about it, like people, like if they sit cross, I don't know, I sit on my feet all the time, and big rocks would hurt your ankles. So
Oh, yeah.
I make a wide variety, and I make all my own stands too. So like these used to be in stores like over 10 years ago, these stands, and I wood burned them, and then I put rocks here, and then I write healing properties and chakras on the tile, and then I make all my own stands. I have like a rake that I hang stuff on. I have a shovel that I put magnets on. I like to keep everything consistent. I have big pipes that I hang the bracelets from. So all my stuff is super heavy. It's a lot of work doing these
I can
craft
see
shows.
that just from watching you use your lapidary equipment on the video.
That's not even the craft show. There's so much work.
I know. And then these here on the shovel that you're seeing now are fridge magnets that she's made out of stones that you have polished. And she, for example, she has these magnets. She just glues them with a certain type of glue, is it?
Yeah, I love epoxy. It's
Epoxy.
awesome.
And this is snowflake obsidian, by the way. I just recognized what kind of stone this one was, snowflake obsidian. And I thought, wow, I never would have thought of making magnets out of gemstones.
I make a lot of little weird things.
I thought that was pretty cool.
I used to have
Usually,
labels underneath them, but it took up too much space because I believe in labeling all my rocks.
okay,
It's
yeah.
important.
So, okay, now, did you tell me, boy, this is heavy. Did you tell me, Joe, that this is Labradorite?
That's correct.
Okay.
And he has a word. This is something that I cannot retain this word, but if you can catch can I catch the reflection? If you, let me see where he is. If you catch, I don't know if everybody knows what labradorite is, but if you can catch it, Joe will tell you what the name of this shine is.
So the shine that
you
you
see it?
see, you can see it happening here. Twist it that way. So it's called chatoyance, and that's the terminology
Chatoyant,
that
okay.
is used
And I never knew that.
to describe the property of rock that has that sort of iridescent, there we go, iridescent look to it. If I can get just the right angle
Oh, it's
on
on
the
the
light.
other side too. Maybe on that side.
That
That's
side,
better.
yeah.
We
Yeah, it's-
had it. Anyways,
Yeah, you can see that twinkling, but it's a beautiful subsurface feature that labradorite is very well known for. Similar
it's a very
to cat's eye.
popular stone.
Oh,
Yeah.
cat's eye.
It's
Yeah.
Now,
very popular.
Now you sometimes see cat's eye that is synthetic, but there's an actual gemstone.
Yeah, I have some in this necklace.
Oh, okay.
That's a cat's eye stone.
And that's a real, genuine stone then.
But yeah, I lab created stones. Like that's actually some of these stones that I brought that are like lab created that I bought that the kids love. I keep loose gemstones and I put them in. Where's that little hemp bag? And like when I have kids come through and they like rocks, I always joke that I'll support anybody's rock addiction because I love rocks too. I give them a little hemp bag to carry them in because I keep everything consistent with rocks and hemp. And these rocks are like the new fad, and I don't know if you could see this up close, but it's called Aurora quartz or Aurora quartz.
Aurora quartz?
Yes, and it's
Okay.
actually, like they're altered, but do you see the rainbow coating? It's electroplated onto a rock.
Oh, is it?
Yes,
Do you do
so-
that too, or you get them that way?
I buy them this way because kids love them.
Okay.
They're so rainbowy
Okay.
and fun. They're eye-catching. So I'll buy these. Like I tumble my own rocks also, but I buy these Aurora quartz ones. Like this is black kyanite, and I don't know if you can see, but it's also got Aurora quartz rainbow in it, and it's not supposed to be rainbowy, but it's really pretty. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's interesting that they I don't know. I'll tell people if a rock is altered. Like a lot of turquoises, like I cabbed up 2 turquoise. I broke one though. And a lot of people are like, oh, it's so much dull, it's not as blue. And I'm like, yeah, because most turquoises are stabilized.
Yeah, I was just going to say something about that.
I don't know where it went.
It means that they're permeated with resin or something?
They're heated.
Heated?
Stabilized means they've been heated, and it brings out the colors.
Heated, okay.
And then, this is the stone that I did on, these are the stones I was cabbing.
Oh, on the video, okay.
Yeah, I did a whole bunch, and this is the one I was talking about. I don't know if you guys can see it.
That is pretty.
And
really
see the mirror
pretty.
finish? It's so pretty, it's shiny.
Yeah.
And that's just when I tumbled. I can't get the right angle. Anyway, so.
Okay, and now this is another heavy item. Malachite. This is what it looks like when it before it's made into gemstones that you might wear as jewelry.
Yes, and I have some that are cabbed that are shiny now.
Mm-hmm. They look so, it's amazing how different
zoom in on it?
gemstones look after they're all polished up and everything.
Yeah, they're so
in
pretty.
their rough state.
I love the bands inside the malachite. Like if you polish those nodules, they are like little bullseyes. If you see the little bullseyes right here, and then I don't know if you can see them. And then this one I like. I kind of kept some of the druzy. Druzy's the sparkly stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
Like this right here. This is druzy. This is from Herkimer because I go to Herkimer to mine. Druzy is kind of like the inside of a geode, but it's exposed on a rock. But yeah, so I kept it. It's a little different to cab like that. I like to do different things. And I cabbed a fossil to show you guys. I cabbed all sorts of stuff.
let me see that.
I didn't cab one side, the other side shiny. There you go. Yeah, but look we cut the, I didn't shine that one, I didn't have time, but do you see the detail in it? And Gojo told me about being able to do this. I didn't realize.
Is this the fossil of a bug?
It's a ring
It's a horn coral.
Horn coral.
Horn coral.
Here's a
One of
horn coral
these.
in its native state.
Oh.
And as a coral, it would have been in the marine
Oh,
environment.
but this one has more coral. It's very interesting. That's why I brought it, because it's horn coral and it doesn't have the normal horn coral. Do I have another one? But it actually has coral that looks like a beehive in it. I have so many rocks.
I was thinking
we could
that
talk about
when,
local
when
rocks.
you first picked it up to show there.
Can you
I
see
was
this,
thinking
Chris?
it reminds me of the old-fashioned beehives that were known as scaps.
Yeah, but if you see this, if you see the detail, I don't know if everybody can see it. I have a camera dyslexia, I think. I don't know. But anyways, it's you could see all the little lines in it. It's really neat. I didn't realize that they were agatized, kind of.
Agatized?
Yes, where they're
in that type,
Permineralized.
yeah, it's permineralized. It's just a form of mineralization, like petrified wood is wood
Oh,
that's been
okay.
replaced with other minerals.
Okay.
And they call that permineralization. It
Okay.
turns into rock,
Okay.
and it's polishable in that state.
Okay. Now, you've got a couple of round-shaped things
Yeah.
out there.
I travel to search for things, and sometimes I don't always find rocks. So when I went to Maine, I found these cool shells, and so I've sold a few of them, and some of them were huge. And I made jewelry dishes or soap dishes. My dream would be to have a store of things that I find and just make everything natural. Finding deer antlers, rocks. These stones, I was bound and determined to make something out of because I hauled them home from Colorado and my flights got messed up, so I spent days in the airport with 3 flights because there's obviously no easy way to get to Colorado, I found, especially Cortez, which is very south. Anyways, my friend Gary, his sister had floor tiles made out of these stones. And I traveled home and I didn't have any toothpaste or medications or anything. I just had a suitcase full of rocks. And it was a rough few days, but I got them home. So I was like, I'm going to use these for something. So this is the idea I came up with. I might sell one a weekend, and I sell them for like not a lot of money. But I think they're super cool. I think I just missed that age of where people printed pictures. And so I also give other examples. You can leave your loved one a note, or this is my brother that I talked about that just passed away, and me on the Appalachian Trail. So that's what I came up with, but nobody really prints pictures anymore, so nobody's interested. But most of the stuff that I make stuff out of, I like to make stuff that I find. And these earrings too, that I made when I was on the video, and I burnt that like giant Dremel thing. I was making these. I found these in Florida, and they're so pretty. There's yellow, there's orange, there's pink and blue. I'm sorry, I'm super bad at holding it up for the camera. And they came in pairs, so I was like, what better than earrings, right?
Okay.
That's mukai.
I'm going to, what?
Mukai.
Muakai.
Mukai.
Mukite. It's
Mukite.
pronounced mukite.
Yeah,
Okay, I was just
beautiful.
wondering about that. It's almost kind of the color of rubies.
I do have rubies too that I've mined for.
Uh-huh.
They're beautiful. I have a UV light because they react. What's that word that the rubies, the red in that, Joe?
Corundum, I think, is the mineral.
I can't say any words. I say everything wrong. So
Well,
bear with
it's
me.
good that Joe is with you then,
Yes.
isn't it?
And I can't retain some of the things, but some of them react to a UV light, like CSI light, and it's a certain bandwidth. I paid a lot of money for this light because I plan to go back and ruby mine more.
Oh, okay.
They have one of the mines told me to come down and stay a month, and they're gonna set up. They have a shed set up for me, and I can stay in that.
Yeah, that's my husband's birthstone is rubies.
Nice.
Because he's July. His birthday's in July. Now, what about this interesting looking rock, right?
That's just a calcite, so that's really
Calcite?
soft. Yeah, it's a very soft rock. Whereas
It's pretty to look
these
at.
are harder. Tiger's eye
Yeah.
is very hard. This one's tiger's eye. If you
Tiger's eye?
yeah, do you see the tiger's eye?
Oh, wow. I'm going to hold that, so hopefully the camera can zero in on this tiger eye.
Yeah, angle it so they can see the shine. Tilt it. Sometimes if you tilt it, you can see the shines of the tiger eye. They come out
Oh,
when you
wait.
polish them. Like I polished one for the show,
Uh-huh.
and if you can see they're pretty. But I made sure I brought some of the most popular stones that everybody knows about.
Now, tell me, these particular rocks, these big heavy ones here, are they going to be made into?
Yeah, I'm gonna cut them up.
You're going to cut them up and make them into other things?
Hopefully my trim saw makes it within the next week. This is selenite. This is
Selenite?
beautiful. It's also very soft, but people love it.
And
And there's mahogany obsidian. This is more petrified wood. More petrified wood. It looks like I brought this piece because it looks like a piece of wood. Isn't that cool?
yes, it really is.
It's like really neat. I just want to maybe polish that. And then,
What?
yeah.
And this is part of a geode or something?
Yeah, Joe and I cut that one in half, and if you know, it's not a geode, but there was a geode inside of it. It's Mexican crazy lace agate. I love the bands. I mean, if you could see the detail inside these stones, like it's amazing, these lines. They're so cool. They're so pretty. Local rocks that I've found are pyrite and turtle rocks. I want to show some people those things too. I know they're not gemstones. I have amber over there also. Mm-hmm. And then that dragon septarian geode. Can you pick that one up?
Oh, that one.
Big
Yeah,
one.
it's heavy.
I'll have to go over here. Okay.
It is so beautiful. Oh my God, it's so neat. We're not going to do anything to that. That's staying the way it is.
Oh, yeah.
But it's it's a dragon septarian.
It's pretty neat
That is
looking.
Gojo's.
And this
He has
looks
quite a
this
rock
looks
collection.
like an arrowhead.
Those are thunder eggs, and the one next to it is one that's not cut. So when you cut into them, they have stuff inside them. This is another one. See the
Okay.
lines? That would make
Okay.
a nice
Thunder
thunder.
egg. Okay.
And this is amber. Feel how light that is. compared to the other
Oh my
rocks.
gosh, yes. Is this petrified?
Yes,
wood?
I keep that for the kids because I put it out at my shows because it still has bark on it, so I stopped cutting into it. It's really a neat piece. That also came home with me from Colorado in the suitcase full of rocks. Because I usually do if it fits the chips, and I'll send rocks back.
Is this wood?
Yes, it's also petrified wood.
Okay.
I'm not sure what this one is. It looks like some sort of moss, but I've never seen anything like it. So it's super interesting. Do you see it looks like a moss agate, but moss agate would be green.
Right,
But
right.
it's got like a ton of weird stuff in it. Like, it's neat.
Okay.
So, I don't know. That was just the rocks. I brought a piece of pyrite, this ugly thing that looks like petrified poop, but it's an Egyptian black diamond. People like them. I buy those like that, and then this is just a mica piece, but it's super shimmery. I want to cap that up.
Okay.
Can I tell about some of the local rocks in Herkimer County?
Okay.
Okay, so locally, we really don't have a lot of gemstones like around here. We mainly have fossils. And my whole life, I've been like collecting turtle rocks. I don't know if anybody knows about them. Sometimes people do, a lot of people don't. I brought miniature ones. This is the kind of turtle rock that is at like an 18 Mile Creek area. And if you see, I will show you. When the rocks are wet, you can see them better. Do you see the black lines? They're like clumped. They look like tortoise shells. I have big ones. I don't know how I got them out because I can't even turn it over. They're so big. But they look like a tortoise shell on the top, and then they're flat on the bottom. And they still have the patterns, but it's flat like a tortoise shell, and then it's lumpy on top. Then the other kind of turtle rock that's scattered all around Western New York, I call these little palm stones. I would really like to set up a little table at craft shows for kids to paint pet rocks with these. They're also another type of turtle rock, and they're concretions. So they're perfectly round. This is a little mutated because it's got like a little duck head. But look how perfectly round they are.
I see.
They also have, in the inside of these, have crystals in them. This is the cracked one, and they're like kind of like they're not real defined crystals. This was a piece from, look at the iron in it, the red, it's beautiful. But this was at Erie County Fairgrounds. Did you know they have giant turtle rocks sitting there? I have a picture of my
No,
mom
I
sitting in
guess
it.
not.
And they're huge. They're like almost half the size of this table, maybe bigger. They're sweet. So these are turtle rocks that are local. This is a really cool one because it's cracked. I just brought my miniature ones because the big ones are too big to carry around.
Oh, yeah.
I have found pyrite in Alden. And this one just looks like a mushroom. Inside the pyrite, if you can see it sparkle, can you guys see it sparkle? It's not as solid as the other pyrite. Can you hand me that pyrite? That might be like from pyrite, the sparkly one?
Oh, this one.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
This is like solid pyrite, whereas this is like, it has pyrite and sparkly, but I tried tumbling one. It's just clay with pyrite in it. But if you break them open, there's ammononites inside of them. You know the little snails?
Oh.
Yeah, they're fossilized ammonites. And this is right out by Darien Lake. It's amazing. So fossils, you can find all this stuff around locally. Mm-hmm. Now, on my travels, I found arrowheads. One, but it's exciting to me. It's like more of a spearhead. I don't know. Can you tell what you don't think it's a real one? You think it's like what
No,
is
it's,
it?
well, it is. To me, it's chert material, and it looks like it was a tool that either they were making and broke in the process.
Yeah, I found other stuff. I don't know where the scraping tool is, but you can tell that they've been worked. Here's the scraping tool. Like when you're looking for things, flint. Okay, we have this thing going on. He called it chert. I called it flint. And then I read an article saying chert, flint, jasper are all used by different types of rock hounds.
Oh,
so
okay.
since he's a fossil guy, he says chert. Mm-hmm. Since I'm also a commoner, I say flint. And then, because I'm a rock hound, I say jasper. But they're all similar. Anyways, so they all shine in the light. So when you're looking for stuff like arrowheads and any kind of rock, you want some sort of like shine in the light. And this looks like it's been worked. I don't know if you guys can see this like ledge here, but it looks like an Indian artifact, like a scraper. Or like when they say worked, like they chipped away at it and they created this ledge. I don't know.
That's called flint napping.
Yep, flint napping. Thank you.
Flint napping, okay.
And this is another piece that I found that also was probably a piece. See how it was peeled off? It's been worked. So
Oh, okay.
I found a ton of these little things. So it's kind of neat. I collect all sorts of rocks. I have rocks from Oregon that I found that I don't know what they are. I just love rocks. I don't know what they are though. But it's got like agate in it. Like it's like translucent-y, and then it also looks like flint, chert, jasper. It could be a boulder opal maybe, but see how shiny that's like the same stuff. I found them in Oregon. I love sparkly rocks. I really just love sparkly rocks. I have some really cool sparkly rocks, and I even picked up a piece of slag. I had found coal. I was hoping it was something better, but it's not. It's so light. But I think slag is really cool. Like if you see it in, there's rainbow. I don't know. It looks kind of like lava rock. And this I got from Mount St. Helena.
Oh, lava.
Yeah, lava rock. And here's a ruby.
Oh.
Wait, where's the camera? This is lava rock. See all the holes? But they came from Mount St. Helena. And then these are rubies. This is a giant one that is not, it's probably, what?
Oh, your microphone
Oh,
dropped.
sorry.
Oops,
Because it wasn't
let's
snapped
see.
in. I got it.
Yeah, okay.
It's because it's not snapped in.
Let me, maybe Joe can talk about some of the stones while I'm getting Sara hooked back
Yes,
up
so-
again.
Well, where can I begin? There's so many stones here.
Chop it down.
These are some local fossils that are found in
Right by my house.
all throughout Western New York in the Devonian
Let's
age
just
rocks
clip it up
of this
here
area.
for now instead
And
of
related
trying to run it up.
Related rock to the turtle stones are some of these layers that they form in. Some of them have fossils. Here's a piece of, I guess you'd call it a petrified plant material. I'm not sure exactly the name of the species of that, but the same minerals that go into the formation of the concretions, the turtle stones, are present in this fossil here. And also adjacent to this layer is another layer that has these patterns that you can kind of see in the light. So that's just more on the local stuff.
Yeah, and I think this is slag, but I thought this was really neat. See, I have a rock art at home. I should take a picture of that. But do you see the like ripples? I think it's slag. It's heavy. Oh, it's magnetic. Let me see magnet.
Okay.
Gojo figured this out. He knew what to do. How do we work it?
Well, I had some.
I feel
I
it.
had some powerful magnets that I could feel. So there's a certain metal content to this.
I feel
slag.
the magnet. Do you feel it like pulling a
It
little
may
bit?
not stick the magnet
It
completely.
is pulling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
isn't-
you can.
It's
you
not
can
real.
Feel
It's
it.
not a real strong magnetization.
Let's see.
But it's interesting. So it has to be slag, which is somebody I went to high school with contacted me online, and he knows that I like rocks and I know rocks, and he sent me pictures. People will send me pictures of things, asking what it is, what kind of fossil it is. I wish I should send them to Gojo now that I have Gojo. But I'm like, you know what? It looks like obsidian, but it's probably slag because we're in Buffalo. That's what there is. There's no obsidian around here, unfortunately. And I also do this thing called Mod Podging rocks. I love doing it because, like I would say, it's like a clear acrylic, and they look so much better when they're wet. And this is the one side when it's not wet, and then I kept it on the other side. But it brings out all the colors in them. They're so pretty. They got patterns. I feel like this one's not leopardy, tiger striped. So,
Oh yeah, that's pretty.
I did this one because it was kind of blue, ish. I don't know what it is. Maybe some sort of slag. But it's interesting. I that's why I like the Mod Podge rocks. My house is decorated. Oh, and this is brick. Not brick the rock. Brick the brick.
Brick the brick.
We brought him because he's funny looking.
Okay. This blue one now.
I found that one at a festival, Blue Heron, because they're.
Oh, really?
I didn't do the back because it's so thin, but it's actually sodalite, and I guess it's the blue. That is where Joe and I met, and that is where we found these turtle rocks on Blue Heron Boulevard, which is a subdivision in Orchard Park-ish. And then I found a rock for him and me, and I just kind of polished it up. I kept the original shape. It's sodalite. And I found it. So I like finding rocks and making stuff out of them.
Did Chris say something?
He's told me to focus.
Okay. He wasn't talking to me. Okay,
And then the jewelry that I
you've
make.
got that mushroom there that you wanted to make.
Yeah,
Sure, to show.
I also do wire wrapping. Like, I collect sea glass. I'm always looking, like, I have shark's teeth. I like whatever I can make something out of, like sea glass with a shark tooth. I find ways to like utilize it somehow. I wire wrap also. I don't do like wire weaving yet. But look at the pearl, isn't that pretty? That's what I used inside these dishes. And they're so pretty. I get a lot of compliments on them. And then I epoxied it and it pooled. I didn't plan on that, but it looks like water. So that's my high-end piece because they took forever. But I wire wrap sea glass because I collect sea glass also.
Okay, I think that when I
I wrap
met you
stones.
at an arts and crafts show, you actually had some wire wrap gemstone pendants.
Yes,
as
those
I
are
remember
these
it.
right here. Here's a mookite one. And I like doing them so if they roll around on somebody's neck, they're pretty from all angles. And then I just brought some I like to repurpose things, so I will sit and strip wire so I can get the thick wire out. This is kind of like, it's really hard to bend. It's so hard, it's so thick. But
Well, that's copper, right?
yeah, it's got. But I stripped it myself. So I also will break down like jewelries and then I wire wrap mushrooms. Like a lot of little kids will like to like wearing their mushrooms as a necklace. So this is an example. I keep moving, and so when it rolls around, it looks cute from every angle.
And you have rings.
Yep, I wire wrap rings, and these are super simple. Like, I do them on the spot for people, and I sell them pretty cheap.
That
Like,
way they can get them custom made to fit their fingers.
Yep, I tell people, give me a ring size, pick a metal, and I have like I have a square metal right there that you can twist. You see how it's twisted? And it like adds some sort of sparkle to it. And then I have them pick a metal, I have a ton of beads that's sitting out, and they can create their own ring if they want. It takes not even 10 minutes. And while I'm doing that, I'm usually talking, cashing people out, explaining things to people. It's insane. It's very chaotic at these craft shows. And then, okay, my craft show day, this is what happens. So I get up at like 2 hours before I leave, which my mom will, because I use my dad's truck. So she'll come and drive me, and we have to be there by 6 or 7 a.m., and it usually takes about an hour to get there. So we're leaving the house by 5 or 6. It takes me 3.5 hours to set up, and everything's heavy. All my stuff is heavy. And my mom can't help much because she's a little old lady. She's like 4'12" on a good day. So she's super short. So anyways, she tries to do what she can. I have her setting things up while I'm like doing all the hard lifting. And the tent is big and heavy. So we set 3.5 hours to set up. Then the shows usually run 10 to 6 on Saturday. Then you have to kind of break down. If you can leave your stuff, that's awesome. Some shows you can't, so you have to take everything down. That takes hours, and then I'm not getting home till 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, and then we do it again the next day till 5. And then I don't usually get home till about 7:38, and packing the truck, unloading the truck, packing the truck. They're very long days.
There's a lot of work involved
Yes.
in doing it.
I probably make like a penny an hour if I factored in how much time I put in searching for things and making things, and like it helps me keep my costs down when I'm finding a rock and I'm making it, because I don't have to buy it. It helps to be able to make my pendants, because if you went to a gem show, like they're selling a cab without a hole in it for $40 to $60. That was before COVID. So if I drill a hole in that and I crack it by accident, I'm going to be mad. So I just make them now. I'm happy that I got my machine and I can make them myself.
Oh yeah.
I tried to do amber on the machine. It doesn't work. You can only polish amber with like 3000 grit wet dry sandpaper by hand.
Oh, I
But
see.
Cool if you cut into it with a Dremel or cut into it with some sort of saw. It spins because it's a resin, and it spins like cotton candy. It's really weird. Anyway, so these are my rocks, and this is a core sample. This is kind of neat. Look how sparkly our earth is. When I was on the Appalachian Trail through New Hampshire, since I didn't realize they were the granite capital, New Hampshire is, but there was like literally a whole mountain that I hiked that was sparkly. It was so cool.
Oh, wow.
And I feel like I'm like a cat. I like sparkly things, so I'm attracted to it. But I don't know. I feel like that was a good rundown of all my rocks. I didn't go through them all.
What's
This is
that?
a cool fossil one that I found in Kinzu Dam. This is interesting.
Oh, okay.
Until I met the Gojo, I didn't really know what it was. I guess it's just fossils, but I thought it was like some sort of alien Egyptian writing. I try to remember everywhere I get them, but isn't that neat?
Yeah, that is interesting.
I like that.
What is that? Green, the one that looks green
I
from
know.
here.
I know,
No, not that.
I
that,
found it,
That
and it's-
small one, yeah.
I think it's just mica, but I have a table that's like that I made, and I filled it with sand. It's like a shadow box, and I had this in there, and it's like an ocean. I have
Oh,
like dried
okay.
ocean stuff. It's like a little just like it's
Terrarium or something.
It's heavy. It's got a lot of sand in it, but I had this in there, and I found it. And I don't remember from where. I try to remember where all my rocks come from, but I think it's just mica. Mica is what makes things sparkly, but it's green. I have two of them.
Yeah, I like that way that looks.
Super pretty, isn't
Yeah, yeah, it really is. So,
Yeah, so that's kind of like my rock rundown. There's some other things that I look at. This is from, this is my rock that it looks like it got scratched on the way here. But I pick up rocks I love looking at rocks. Joe and I will look at rocks and like say what we see in them. I think it looks like a Chewbacca. I should have brought a picture. Not an Ewok. Do you see the little hat and the eyes and the nose?
I see that. I see that.
From Star
yeah.
Wars. So I saw it in the creek and I picked it up, and so I Mod Podged it so it always looked like that.
This is really interesting.
This is
looking.
beautiful. This is pictures.
Picture Jasper.
Picture stone. See, Gojo has a ton of rocks. He gave me this, and I capped it up. I did different edges to show, like, like a round. I just kind of like kept it the original shape, and just polished it. It's called freeform. It's not doing like a perfect square, perfect circle, or teardrop. It's called freeform, and I like that. I like doing that. I'm trying to do faceting. Here's some examples of faceting, and that's when you angle it. I do not have a faceting machine. These two are stones that I found, and I don't know what they are. I figured this is maybe a rainbow jasper, but I capped them, and I don't put them out if I can't name them, because I feel like people should know what they're wearing. And then I forgot my sheets. I have print-ups of what the stone's healing properties are, their chakras, what their meaning is, so then whenever somebody buys a necklace, they can read about their pendant at least. Not all beads are listed, because there's a million kinds of rocks out there. So I would
Yeah.
have giant books hanging from my stand. So I have them in alphabetical order, and they can read about their pendant. They'll take a picture of it. If they're giving it as a gift, they often take a picture of it, and they print it, and then they give it to them like that. So
Yeah.
can I show how the rubies develop?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
This kind of got
definitely.
cracked. See, I carry everything. Things get beat up in my shows. But I don't know if you could see, like, okay, here's a triangle. Can you see that triangle shape? Rubies come out of the ground almost, like, faceted. And they're very interesting. I brought one, and the UV light would react to it. I don't know if we can... it will glow red. See, there's too many lights. But they as they grow in that triangular pattern. It's really neat. So, and mining for stuff, I wish I brought a picture of my hand. I'll hammer my hand so much with a chisel that my hand was so swollen.
Oh,
I was
gosh.
bleeding, and I just don't stop.
Oh, really?
I kept going all day, and my hand was green. It's fun.
It's fun. Is that there's something there that looks like driftwood?
There is. I love driftwood. I just don't know what to do with it. I
Uh,
collect everything. Look, aren't they beautiful pieces?
Yeah.
They're really neat. I don't know. I love anything. I want to make stuff out of driftwood. People say wind chime. I don't get how this would chime. But, and then this is from Howe's Caverns. It's upstate New York. Like,
What's
it says
Camden?
Howe's Caverns. When I was
Howe's
little,
Caverns.
How caverns, yeah.
when I was little, my parents took me there, and you're not supposed to take these. But I found one. What is this? A stalactite or a...
It could be a stalactite or a
Or a-
stalagmite.
Yes, thank you. One's from the top, one's from the bottom.
There's a little trick you could use to remember that.
It was laying on the ground, and it was already broken off, and I felt like it needed to be in my pocket, I guess. So I've had this forever, since I'm probably under 10. So, but it's very frowned upon to take these, so don't be like me. Don't do it.
It was a broken piece, so.
You wouldn't have taken it if it hadn't already been broken off.
Yeah, it was laying there. I wouldn't have broken it off, no way. But I'm not a destroyer. I'm a, if anything, like I like to make things grow.
An
and stuff.
appreciator.
Yes, an appreciator. But that just shows that I've been collecting rocks for a really long time. It's exhausting.
Did you say anything about that one with the reddish area on it?
I know this is from an ocean that I found in Maine, but look at all the mica. I just when things are in the ocean, they get like dyed. Look at the red, and then, oh, that's all mica. It's so neat, and it's also
Whoops.
They look better wet.
they do look better wet. That's perfect. They're so much brighter. This one's also from the ocean, and it's got the bands of red in it. There were some really neat stuff that I found in Maine recently, and it's got tons of quartz in it. Can you guys see the bands? I'm getting like rock crazy over here. Do you see the bands of quartz? But these have been in the ocean. I didn't have time to scrub them. I just got home from Maine last week, so I want to scrub them and reveal all this quartz. But because it's been in the ocean, they're kind of greenish and mossy, you know. It's nice getting turtle rocks, not from creeks, because they grow. Turtle rocks, when you're looking for turtle rocks, like they're in shale.
Oh, okay.
And they're the concretions, and they're super round, and you'll see all this shale everywhere, a shale wall, and then there'll just be a round thing sticking out from the shale wall.
Oh, okay.
It's really weird.
Okay, yeah.
So you can dig them out of the wall, or you can find them that have already fell. But they're annoying when you're taking them out of the creek, because then you gotta scrub them. I built a rock garden for my neighbor for basically nothing. And it took me 2 5-hour days of hauling rocks out of the creek. And then I made her and I planted her succulents around her shed, and with tons of turtle rocks. But I had to scrub them with bleach to kill the algae. I have, is it boric acid? Not.
I don't remember.
I don't know. You can use acid. And like if you're rock hounding in creeks, and you're looking for rubies, algae will glow red. So it's very deceiving. You think you struck it rich, but really it's just algae. So you have to soak the rocks before you shine the light on them to find the rubies, because it'll get rid of the algae. And I think it's boric acid. I'm not sure. I might have made that up. Anyways, these are my rocks, and this is my life. So I like it, and it's fun, and I don't want to stop. I want to just travel around the country looking for rocks and doing rock shows on the weekends, and then have like a home base somewhere, maybe in my parents' garage, where I can go cap them up once I find a bunch. You know, because
Yeah.
I love all rocks. It's not just
Me too.
these gemstones. Yes, and he's a fossil person. I have
Yes.
fossils right by my house. I'm officially the crazy rock lady now, because I took
Instead of
kids
being
rock
a
hounding.
crazy cat lady, you're a crazy rock.
Yeah,
lady.
but like little kids come to my house. Look, I found a crystal. Look, I found a meteorite, and I'm like, it looks like gravel rock. Or I made a pendant with an owl for this little girl Lily in my neighborhood, because she found it and she thought it was meteorite. And I was like, it's not metal, so it's not. But we'll cut it open. So we cut it open, and I made her a pendant out of
Okay.
it. And they're just, I took them fossil. Like, I took kids in my neighborhood looking for fossils, and now they love rocks.
Well, I hate to say
I
it,
think
but
we're
we've
good.
come to the end of another episode of Fresh Perspectives. Thank you both for appearing today. It was a lot of fun.
Yes,
for
it
having
was.
us.
And I'll see those of you in the viewing audience when I do the next episode.
Thank you, Gail, for having me.
Oh, you're